Hello, and welcome to the Composer of the Month series brought to you by the Composers Society of Singapore. I am Pek Im, the Publicity Exco member of CSS. Today, I will be sharing more about local composer Erika Poh and her works.
Hi, my name is Erika Poh. Thank you for featuring me as composer for the month. As for the first question, well, my introduction to music was like that of many Singaporeans. I started taking piano lessons when I was 5 and I continued studying it seriously. I even took grades for it. I enjoyed playing others' works, but I felt the desire to sing my own tunes and invent my own music from the start. In primary school, I discovered Barbra Streisand's music. I was immediately drawn to the lush orchestral landscapes that accompanied her voice, and that style of pop influences me to this day. I started songwriting when I was 12, making silly little ditties and rhymes, but it wasn't until I was a teen that I discovered notation as a way of writing and imagining music, leading me to write my first instrumental pieces. I spent my teenage years enthralled by great orchestral composers. Beethoven, Ravel, Stravinsky, you name it. However, I was struck even then that they were all dead white men. Determined to find myself in the music I loved, I studied composition with Singaporean composer Tan Chan Boon and pursued the music elective program, MEP. The possibility of a career in music began to take shape in my mind, but it wasn't until I wrote and staged my fully orchestrated rock musical Runaway that I gained the confidence to pursue composition more seriously. In 2019, I left Singapore to study at the University of Southern California, in short, USC. My experience in LA was life-changing. I met so many talented people and I was exposed to so many different ways of thinking about music. I was encouraged to write and participate in the American new music community, and I studied under the likes of Frank Kelly, Andrew Norman, Ted Hearn, Kamei, also known as Mo Mother, and Donald Crockett. My teachers there taught me what it means to compose music in context, with a strong sense of identity in place. My song palette began to shift as I experienced the US pop scene in the flesh. I realized I couldn't ignore my pop inspirations forever. As I pursued songwriting and arranging, I studied with the legendary Patrice Rushen, and I started going around LA for gigs as a solo artist. Ultimately, I wrote and produced my first EP, Teens in My 20s. I'm really glad that I get to make music like this, and I'm very thankful to have learned and written so much in LA, and I can't wait to make more music here in Singapore. I'm invested in making music that blurs lines of genre. My creative happy place is experimental pop fusion, a world where I'm free to superimpose genres and inspirations, but always honoring the original love for orchestration. Last year, I wrote and premiered my song, Have You Seen Her, with the Thornton Symphony Orchestra. It's a project which blended my concert and pop music practices. My recent explorations have focused on finding elements of play and flow in my creative process, including using humor as a formal tool. This has been especially significant to my collaborators with dancers, enabling me to be a more flexible collaborator with an open ear to my creative partners. In the midst of my studies in Paris last spring, I created a house remix of the famous flower duet aria from Lakme, which was choreographed and performed as a ballroom-inspired dance piece. The whole experience was as silly as it was liberating. I've also collaborated on more serious satirical works of dancers, exploring themes ranging from self-deprecating internet humor to American politics, but separately of course. One such piece was commissioned and premiered by Laurie Sefton at the LA Dance Project, titled Bird Lesson. In this piece, I had to do a lot of research, and I sampled many voices and speeches. Working with Laurie for this project taught me more about developing a piece of material in an electric acoustic way. Through these experiences, I've embraced a sense of joy and spontaneity in my music making, allowing creative play to shape my artistic voice. I feel like I have so many ideas. I'm excited about the present and future of local music in Singapore. There are many bands and artists in Singapore that sound really good, and I appreciate the honesty and authenticity of it all. I want to inform students and fellow Singaporeans about their local music scene and inspire them to be a part of it. And I hope to show that there's so much more to local music than NDP songs. There's a whole world of Singaporean music out there to listen, rave, and mosh to. Most of all, I hope to help my students unleash the music within. As I strive to equip them with the tools to make their own music, I hope that my passion for music making resonates. I feel that I'm still settling back in Singapore after spending 5 years in the States. I've been taking a break from composing these few months to focus my energy on growing roots and reconnecting with my community in Singapore. I've also been taking the time to make new friends in different music circles, so if you're watching and reading this, please hit me up. I'd love to make more musician friends and collaborators here in Singapore. In the year ahead, I'm looking forward to writing another orchestral work maybe, or I don't know, I might start working on a musical too. I'm also learning how to DJ.
Thank you for watching the video. Do like, share and subscribe to get more updates, and see you soon for the next series of the Composer of the Month in February. Bye!